Behold the legend, the one and only Toyota Tacoma, which is currently the best-selling vehicle in its class here in the United States. And it is also remarkably capable, very good off-road, very good on-road. It's super, super popular, however.
Yada, 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 Tacoma, Tacoma, Tacoma. I have the new Challenger. This is the all-new 2023 Chevy Colorado Trail Boss. And you over there have a Tier D off-road 4x4.
Right.
I would wager these are comparable trim levels for both trucks.
Mm-hmm.
They cost about the same.
Right.
This one is, by the way, a 2021 model.
But it's the same as the one.
But you could still get that today.
Yeah.
For about 41-ish thousand.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what I paid for my truck.
All right, so what do you propose?
I propose we look at features of both and do something else.
How about a 0 to 60?
Oh, yes. Tacoma has been so dominant in the segment. I mean, they sell, what, 250,000 Tacomas a year?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
It is. Why am I standing in a hole? Are you trying to be dominant over? There we go. That's a little bit better.
Okay.
A little bit taller there.
But we're staring at, let's take a wide look at the trucks, okay?
Because there's a difference, and that's why I was mentioning the hole. Because it certainly looks like the Tacoma is almost like in a hole.
Almost miniature.
Look
right?
how much bigger your truck looks than that one.
So they're both crew cabs, they're both short beds.
Yeah.
But the Tacoma has approximately 127-inch wheelbase, which they've used for many, many years.
Yeah.
And in the Colorado, they extended the wheelbase by about 3 inches, but it's now over 131 inches. So it's almost 4.5 inches longer wheelbase in the Colorado.
Yeah, and not only does it sit higher, but I would say that the cab definitely looks bigger. The hood sits a lot higher.
You know,
4 inches, I'd say at least.
The Tacoma looks mid-size. That almost, by comparison, looks almost full-size to me.
Yeah, if you weren't looking at the width of these two, then this would almost look like a full-size truck. And a lot of it has to do also with the suspension lift that you have. Now, that does have an off-road suspension too.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Which has been around for a while, but this is sort of a new thing here.
So let's start here just briefly, shall we, on the Tacoma?
Yeah.
This is a Tier D off-road. Obviously, this is not the king of the hill, right? The Tier D Pro is currently the king of their off-road trucks.
Yeah, and there's a version of that as well.
ZR2.
Exactly.
Yeah. So this is the way the Tacoma comes. This is fully stock. It has Goodyear Wrangler Kevlar tires. These are 31s approximately. It has, of course, specially tuned suspension. And it looks like it has a good approach angle. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't have a lot of ground clearance, in my opinion.
No, we've covered that before when we've taken these things off-road. We bashed them on trails.
Yes.
But it still seems to work. However, you can get components like a TRD skid plate and whatnot, which will help.
And a taller suspension on the Pro, right?
Yeah.
So you can do all that, of course. Do you want to pop the hood? Let's check out the engine really quick.
It's pretty much the same V6 that you guys have seen for 8 million years.
And I'm sure, dude, when GM was redesigning the Colorado and Canyon,
they benchmarked this.
They've been looking at feel how heavy this is. Just
it's a heavy hood, actually.
That's quite heavy.
Yeah, it is.
And I've noted that before. By the way, this truck belongs to Alex.
Yeah, so
and she off-roads it hard.
Yes.
Yeah, she uses this truck.
So that's why it's a little schmutzy.
That's good. That's how a truck.
I agree. I got no problem with it.
So 3.5 liters. Mm-hmm. No turbos whatsoever. It's a V6, about 278 horsepower. Mm-hmm. But the torque is about 265, right? And that's typical of a V6 like this.
Yeah, and this V6 has been around. We actually went to the event in Tacoma, Washington, you and I,
yes,
where this truck came out, and that was the debut of this engine as well. Prior to that, it was the 4-liter, which a lot of you guys swear by, and I do as well, by the way. It's a beast of an engine, but this one has proven to be relatively reliable, and it's hooked up to a 5-speed auto. No, 6-speed.
Yeah, it's a 6-speed, but they also have a 6-speed manual.
Currently.
Yes. We're not talking about the next Tacoma that's coming in a few months.
We're expecting a lot of changes with that
We're talking about the current one, the King.
Right, which is one of the few pickups you can get in any class that actually has a manual transmission as an option. The only other one is a Jeep Gladiator.
Yeah, the Nissan went away with it, right?
Yep, they're done.
Interesting.
They got the 9-speed.
How about this? How about we do a 0 to 60 right now, and then start talking about the features on the Colorado?
Sounds good.
Bam, and we are inside the Taco.
Yeah, this is a very familiar place to be. All of us have driven a lot of Tacomas in the past.
Remember, sorry.
Well, that's right. Essentially, it's the same cockpit.
Remember, you and I, when you mentioned we reviewed this new truck in Tacoma, Washington.
Yeah, right when it came out.
And this was a brand new design, and I actually loved it. And it's still not bad, actually.
No, I wish it was color coordinated or something else a little bit more, jazzy. But for the most part, the shape of it is logical. I still think the screen is a fine size, and I do like the hard buttons.
Yeah, but the screen size is getting and also the graphics.
They're old.
They haven't updated the graphics in ages.
No, that is definitely on the old side when you compare it to all the other new trucks.
Now, this Tacoma does have power seats. I'm adjusting them right now just to get a little bit comfortable. But, I mean, it's like beating a dead horse. I mean, the seat is not comfortable for me.
Or for me.
So
we've gone over this. Remember, I took the green one, which was the full-blown TRD Pro to Moab, Utah, and back. And,
that was like a year ago?
And it was really uncomfortable, to be honest with you.
Like on a long journey?
Yeah, and it's just the seating position was just not right for me. But there's some people who swear by it.
But I think, I mean, I'm almost 6'3". I mean, you're pretty tall.
Yeah.
If you're a different body type, it couldn't work for you. It just depends.
Yeah, exactly. So that I'm pretty sure Toyota's going to take into consideration when they build the new one, which we hear is going to be an all-new truck.
Yeah, and they're redesigning many things. We hear the chassis is going to be related to the new Tundra. It's going to have a different rear suspension setup, including coil springs. This is all rumor still, right?
Yep.
And they're going to redo the interior. They're going to make it more high-tech. I think they're going to make it more pricey.
I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Yes.
All right, well, we'll see what happens with that. First of all, let's see what we're going to do with the 0 to 60 here.
Yes, so I'm going to reset it. We're using a Draggy GPS device, and my phone is connected to it. The Draggy is outside.
Okay, and there's 3 people in here, and we're over a mile above sea level.
V6 power? Oh, ECT power. I'm using ECT.
ECT. It's moving pretty good.
Oh, it revs almost to $6,000. And, this number may look weird, but we're going to compare it to the Colorado.
Okay, so what's the number?
Do you want to read that?
Okay, quarter mile in 18.79 seconds. Well,
Well, let's not talk about quarter mile.
I know. 0 to 60, 10.85 seconds. Considering the 3 of us are in here, that's not too bad.
And the elevation. Here, take a closer look. So 10.85.
And that's a real-world test with actual humans in there. And this vehicle has components on it. And where's the hazard on this? Hit it.
Bam-ow.
Okay. All right.
So, in real world for Tacoma, I think that's actually a reasonable number.
I'm fine with that personally speaking.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be critical of that.
All right, well, let's get a little bit more driving impression.
Yep.
This 6-speed automatic, right now it's a little spicy in ECT mode.
Yep. It definitely, it likes to rev at the lower end. One thing I really do like about the Tacoma in general is the fact that the engine's really flexible. We've proven that, it'll rev high when it's towing. It can be pretty unhappy, but it'll do it, and it'll do it all day long.
But here's the thing, and I think they tried to tune this transmission, but especially in mountainous driving, you can catch the transmission off guard.
Yes,
that's been my experience.
Happened. Yeah, that has happened to us before.
Which is why I love the manual. We've had a manual truck here a few months ago or a couple of years ago.
That was great.
And just rolling you on gears with this V6 was really great.
Now I think it's time for you to pop the hizzle on this one.
All right, let's do it.
Now, this hood is so light, I am worried about the gusting wind actually ripping it off and making it go like a sail across the plains. Okay, it's not that, but it's a lot lighter.
It's aluminum.
Well, that kind of makes sense.
Do you know
doesn't it?
how I know?
How do you know?
I know because I have a magnet. Let me show you. Hold on a second.
You know, goodness forbid that Andre not go into crazy details like this and bring out a magnet that he just happens to have to show that there's aluminum on the vehicle. Yes.
So
okay.
this is metal, right?
Yes.
This.
You really just wanted to
show
slide that? Yep.
I'm destroying my paint right
I know.
now.
I don't understand where your head is right now, dude. Okay.
Aluminum. But what about this?
It's steel. Yeah.
Oh, I can't even take it off there.
Yeah, this is solid.
And that we'll talk about weight in a second because payload in the Tacoma is bad.
Yeah, I would agree with you there. Let's talk about what we're looking at here. This is the Dexo Special Turbo Spine.
Springle?
What does this mean? I mean,
That's the oil thingy.
Yeah, I was wondering why. That's more prominent than anything else in here in terms of
Yeah,
the
why don't they
branding.
have like a big turbo
or Chevrolet
something?
or something?
They put design on this.
I don't
They
get
put
it.
little triangles.
Okay.
This is a 2.7 liter 4-cylinder turbo, and this is the mid-grade, mid-output, but still a lot of power. 310 horsepower and 390 pound-feet of torque.
Okay, both of those numbers are a lot more than the Toyota.
Monstrous numbers.
Right. So let's first go into what that really translates to. Now it's also hooked up to an 8-speed automatic transmission.
That's right, an 8-speed that a lot of our people at TFL dislike, but they've retuned this transmission, and I've had this truck for a week, and it's great. I mean, after a week.
1 week, no problems. I'm kidding.
Alex has owned this for like 2.5 years, no problems.
Yeah, exactly. Well, these are known to be puller. The bottom line here is that this has to prove its reliability over time.
Yes, and that's why I bought it, because I want to kind of use it and do that.
Okay.
So,
Let's talk about some other numbers that are kind of interesting. Perhaps.
Like what?
Well, how much does this tow?
6,400 pounds.
Okay.
Okay. 7,700 pounds.
Dang.
Payload on this, well, we'll show the sticker in a minute.
Yeah.
Before we do a 0 to 60 on this, I want to show you the tires.
Yes, let's have a look-see at the tire, because that is amazing. Those are standard factory, which is remarkable.
But they were optional. I paid $495 for this upgrade because I wanted a beefy tire, and I got a Goodyear Wrangler Territory MT, and these are 32s, where those are like 30 and a half. So it's a larger tire.
And wider.
It's more aggressive, it's wider, and I think it's going to hurt the 0 to 60.
It's a little bit, maybe.
And it's going to hurt efficiency as well.
Yeah, but I mean, you're talking about a tire that will... There's more rubber on the road, I suppose, but more importantly, this is an off-road tire. You can really use it. And we've had a similar tire on the old ZR2 Colorado, am I correct?
Those were smaller, though.
They were smaller, but it
Smaller
was
in diameter, yeah.
Yes, but they were a
Smaller
similar type
diameter.
of tread. It was a similar brand. I mean,
I don't remember exact spec, but yeah,
they were a little
smaller.
But the point is that these are a little bit more off-road oriented.
But this has also some width. You know, they added almost 2 inches to the trail bus versus other Colorados.
Yeah, the stance is really nice.
And the stance is nice. But, well, okay, let's do a 0 to 60 now.
Okay.
And then come back talk about utility.
Got it.
Look, all new interior, no more like plastic General Motors small screens.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I love 90% of it, except these. Sorry. But the seats are really
But the
comfortable.
Tacoma had very similar stiffness on the top of the door right there.
Mm-hmm. I'm not disagreeing, but I'm just saying that GM should do better.
Okay, so General Motors redesigned the interior, but very similar to that Tacoma, it's also kind of a sea of gray, isn't it?
Yeah, but really close to black, like a charcoal.
Yeah, not gray, but mostly black.
I do wish that they would throw a little bit of color and variation into this, but nonetheless, I do like the way they integrated the screen. This is a really nice little piece of engineering here, the way they did it, and you do have a volume knob, which we do still want. Actual buttons down here, hard buttons, that's nice, down here as well. So all in all, yeah, really, really well put together in that respect.
I'm already noticing a couple of things. First of all, for 41 grand, I do not have a rear small window.
No, you don't.
That the Tacoma has. I also don't have a wireless charger that the Tacoma has.
And you don't have cruise control either.
Please, no. Why would you say it? Yes, I don't have cruise control.
The Tacoma did.
Yes. Thanks. But you know what I do have? Whammo, 11.3 inches of screen goodness.
Yeah, and it's very modern. I'm not disagreeing with that either.
And look, also whammo, it's connected wirelessly to my phone. So what do you think about like ride comparison as far as
I've ridden in your truck before, and
compliance?
It's one of the better riding trucks in its class. And I was recently in a Frontier. Now, granted, it was the base model Frontier, but that still had the big cab, and it still had four-wheel drive. So similar to this. And this, I think, might ride a little bit better, but I think it's because of that wheelbase.
Yeah, that generally helps.
Yeah.
And also a slightly wider track that they did on the Trail Boss.
And you got big, fat tires. I mean, literally, they are fat. So they do help kind of absorb some of the imperfections in the roads as well.
Kind of real world.
Once again, three people about the same spot.
Do you mind just holding this phone so we kind of, people can see how it's working?
Yep. There you go.
All right, I'm going to brake torque it a little. Okay, well, I wouldn't say it feels so much more quick.
It's faster.
And the verdict is?
8.150 to 60.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
This is my first 0 to 60 in this new truck.
That's what it says, 8.15. Let's pull over.
Let me pull over.
That's really fast. For three people.
And just bigger tires.
Yeah. So a solid 2 seconds plus faster than the Tacoma with the same essentially the same load.
Yes.
At high elevation.
Same day. Same
weather, same temperature.
Everything.
Yeah.
Wow. So those results are pretty remarkable. 0 to 60s.
I'm not really surprised considering the power difference. It's major.
I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, I bet you are.
But with great height comes great inability, because what if you want to load stuff here? This bed is really tall.
Okay, I am 6'1".
Yes.
And I do slouch quite a bit, but if I'm standing straight up, here's my arm, and I can just reach the bed, okay? The reason why that's significant to some people is that being able to really reach into a bed matters with some people and the types of pickup trucks that they have. Little ones like the one I own, easy to get to the inside the bed. It's low and it's easy. Yours is not.
And also for about 41 grand that I paid for this truck, I don't have a bed liner.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
And Tacoma, of course, does something else with their beds. We'll see that in a second. But walk this way. I want to show you the payload of this truck.
Yeah.
We already mentioned 7,700 pounds of towing. Now, if you step to this side, 1,514 pounds of payload.
Okay, that's not bad.
Okay, I would say it's pretty good for a mid-sizer.
I would say that that's comparable to a lot of full-size trucks that are out there.
Let's check out the Tacoma and its bed.
Well, first let's start at the bed, because the bed has something. This does not come with the Tacoma, by the way.
Well, Alex added this.
Yeah.
Yes, which is really cool.
Yeah.
But I can already see this. Look how much lower this bed is.
Yeah, and well, just as importantly, if I'm going to reach into it, I can easily get into the bed from anywhere here, granted, once this thing retracts. And so loading and unloading something like this from the sides is a lot easier because it's a lot lower. And for some people, that is important.
Yes. I also, if we can point on this side of the bed.
Yeah, you can see it.
It's composite. Right,
Yep.
and also there's a rubber mat because the composite may be sometimes slippery.
Yes, it is a little bit slippery, but the composite is super, super strong. You don't really have to worry about it getting dented and scratched up like you do with the back of his truck.
And of course the 2-inch receiver, and we mentioned towing already, which is, I mean, okay, but numbers matter for most of us.
Yeah.
And I tow a 6,000-pound boat trailer.
Right, and so you want a little bit of a
cushion. But I also want payload.
Yeah, let's go have a look, see what the payload over there.
Let's have a look-see. So, can you zoom in here? 990, my friend.
Yeah.
Wait, is that a typo? No, it's not a typo. No, it's not a typo. That's low payload, my friend.
That's really low. I mean, it's just really low. Now, there are some trucks that match that we know of, that are super high performance trucks and whatnot, but honestly speaking, for any truck, that number is a bit abysmal. Hopefully, they'll be able to make it a better payload number in future versions of this truck. So there's something really important here. Obviously, your truck outperforms it in almost every way, at least standard, on numbers on pages and all that. And people would say, well, look out, Tacoma.
Yes, I would say.
But
What?
when Ford came along with their updated Ranger, it was the same thing. Look out, Tacoma, and the Ranger did outperform it in many, many ways. But look at the sales. It didn't do a damn thing to it.
You have a good point.
Ew.
But I think, so first of all, I want to compliment the Tacoma on something. I think even to this day, it's a good value truck.
Yes.
Because this TRD off-road specifically has power seats. Alex added really nice LED lights to it.
Sure.
It has a lot of useful features. And of course, it has the Toyota kind of name behind it.
Yeah, the reputation.
Yes. So that's really important. But I would wager the new Colorado, with its power capability, it's got 500 pounds more of payload.
Yeah.
All those things I think matter, including the technology it has inside.
I'm not saying they don't matter.
So I would say Toyota needs to take notice. That's all I'm saying.
And surprise, surprise, they have taken notice because Toyota's building a brand new Tacoma that we're going to be hopefully getting our hands on very soon.
Okay.
So stay tuned for that. Am I correct?
Yes, that's so true. So this is to be continued. We told you this was going to be the year of the midsize truck. We were not lying.
No.
It truly is the case because the new Ranger is coming.
That's correct.
So stay tuned for more videos. Check us out at alltfl.com. We'll see you next time.